You know the feeling. It is 9 p.m. You have hit your calorie limit for the day, but your stomach is growling like a chainsaw, and your brain is flashing images of pizza and donuts. This is the exact moment where 99% of diets fail. We are told that to lose weight, we have to suffer. We are told that hunger is just part of the process. But that is actually a lie. You do not need to starve to get shredded. You just need to understand the science of caloric density. The game is simple. How can we physically fill up your stomach? Trigger your stretch receptors to tell your brain you are full, but ingest almost zero energy in the process. Today, I am giving you the cheat codes. We are going to break down the best near-zero calorie snacks that allow you to eat like a king while burning fat like a machine. Let's start with the absolute king of volume eating. And before you roll your eyes and click away, hear me out. I am talking about the high-volume salad protocol. I know. Eat a salad is the most boring advice in the fitness industry. But the way most people eat salad is wrong. They view it as a side dish. I view it as a stomach filler. Here is the protocol I use personally to stay lean year-round. Every single morning, I prep a massive mixing bowl of greens. Not a small side plate, a massive bowl. Throughout the day, whenever I eat a main meal, let's say scrambled eggs or a chicken breast, I pair it with a huge portion of this salad. Here is the biology behind it. Your stomach has stretch receptors. When you fill it with volume, these receptors send a signal to your brain via the vagus nerve saying, "We are full, stop eating." By combining your protein with a massive amount of low-calorie greens, you trigger this signal way faster. You are physically full, but you have barely touched your calorie budget. Now, the trap here is the dressing. Do not drown your greens in olive oil. 1 tablespoon of olive oil is 120 calories. That is a caloric bomb. Instead, use vinegar, lemon juice, hot sauce, or zero-calorie dressings. You can eat a mountain of cucumbers, leafy greens, and tomatoes until you physically cannot take another bite. And you likely haven't even hit 100 calories yet. But let's be real. Sometimes you don't want crunchy vegetables. You want something sweet. You have a sugar craving that won't go away. This brings us to the dessert cheat code. Sugar-free Jello. In the US, we call it Jello. Elsewhere, you might call it jelly. But the macronutrient profile is insane. You can make a massive bowl of this stuff. And it is basically flavored water held together by gelatin. It is virtually 0 calories. This is a lifesaver when you are deep in a caloric deficit. My personal hack? Slice up some strawberries or throw in some blueberries into the mix before it sets. Now you have a high-volume, sweet, texturally satisfying dessert that feels like a cheat meal but fits into literally any diet. Speaking of optimizing your nutrition, a lot of you ask me how to structure these snacks into a full day of eating without messing up your macros. It can be confusing to balance proteins, fats, and carbs while trying to lose weight. That is exactly why I created my specific nutrition guides. Whether you are trying to bulk up without getting fat or cut down without losing muscle, I have a blueprint for you. I've done the math, so you don't have to. You can check that out in the description below after the video. Now, back to the list. Let's talk about nature's candy. Watermelon. The name says it all. It is mostly water. This is a prime example of low caloric density. You could eat an entire pound of watermelon, which is a huge amount of food. And it is roughly 140 calories. Compare that to a handful of potato chips or a single donut, which can easily be 300 to 400 calories. Because watermelon is 92% water, it hydrates you while you eat. Dehydration often masquerades as hunger. Sometimes your brain tells you that you are hungry, but you are actually just thirsty. Watermelon solves both problems simultaneously. It gives you the chewing sensation, the sweetness, and the hydration. Just be careful not to eat the entire melon in one sitting if you are watching your sugar intake. But for 99% of people, this is a safe zone. Next up is the gastric bypass effect. This is one of the most underrated tools in the dieting arsenal. Soups and bone broths. There is a study that showed people who ate a low-calorie soup before their main meal consumed 20% fewer calories in that meal overall. Why? Because the liquid takes up space. You have 2 options here. Option 1 is clear bone broth, chicken or beef. It's incredibly high in protein, great for your gut health, and warm, which somehow makes it feel more satiating. Option 2 is a vegetable soup. Throw in celery, carrots, onions, spinach, whatever you have in the fridge. It tricks your brain. When you sit down to a bowl of hot soup, your brain registers it as a meal. It's savory. It takes time to eat. You can't chug hot soup. And it physically distends the stomach wall. By the time you get to your actual dinner, you are already partially full. Now, we need to address the most controversial item on this list. The zero-calorie noodle. You have probably seen these on social media. They are called Konjac noodles or shirataki noodles. On paper, they look like a miracle. A regular serving of pasta is 200 to 300 calories. A serving of Konjac noodles, essentially zero. But, and this is a massive but, you need to be careful. These noodles are made from the root of the Konjac plant, which is almost entirely a fiber called glucomannan. It is indigestible. It goes right through you. If you eat a massive bowl of these without testing your tolerance, you're going to have a very bad time. I am talking about severe bloating and gas. Do not, I repeat, do not eat a whole package before a date or a workout. Also, they smell terrible right out of the bag. It smells like fishy ocean water. You have to rinse them thoroughly under cold water for a few minutes and pan fry them to get the texture right. My advice? Do not eat them plain. Use them as a volumizer. Mix them 50-50 with regular pasta. You get the taste and texture of real pasta, but you double the volume of your bowl for almost no extra calories. This is the smart way to use them without destroying your digestion. However, if the idea of miracle fiber noodles scares you, there is a much tastier natural alternative, Zoodles. Zucchini noodles. You can buy a cheap spiralizer on Amazon for $10. You take a raw zucchini, spin it through, and boom, you have noodles. Are they exactly like pasta? No. But if you toss them in a good marinara sauce or a meat sauce, they are fantastic. Zucchini is extremely low-calorie and high in water and fiber. You can eat a mixing bowl-sized portion of Zoodles for the same amount of calories as 2 bites of regular spaghetti. It is about tricking your eye. We eat with our eyes first. Seeing a massive full plate satisfies the psychological need for food before you even take the first bite. Now let me share a weird personal favorite. This is for the savory snackers, the salt craving killer. When you are dieting, sometimes you don't want sweet, you want salty and crunchy. You want chips. But chips are the devil for weight loss. Instead, take a cucumber, slice it into thin chip-like rounds. Now here is the secret sauce. Literally, drizzle a little bit of soy sauce or amino acids over them. Maybe sprinkle some tagine or everything bagel seasoning. The crunch of the cucumber mimics the chip. The salt hits that savory receptor on your tongue. And since cucumbers are basically water and fiber, you are hydrating yourself. I can hear some of you screaming in the comments, but what about the sodium? Listen, unless you have a specific medical condition designated by your doctor, salt is not the enemy. Sodium is an essential electrolyte. If you are training hard, sweating, and drinking water, you need sodium to prevent cramps and maintain performance. A little soy sauce on a cucumber is not going to kill you. It's going to save you from eating a bag of Doritos. Finally, let's talk about the pharmacological aids. These aren't foods, but they are tools. Honorable mention number 1, zero sugar sodas. The fear-mongering around artificial sweeteners has been largely debunked by human data. If having a Diet Coke keeps you from drinking a 500-calorie sugary soda, that is a net win for your health. The carbonation also helps fill the stomach temporarily. Honorable mention number 2, caffeine. Black coffee or tea. Caffeine is a natural appetite suppressant. If you are feeling hungry at 10 a.m., a cup of black coffee can blunt that hunger signal for another hour or two. Just don't drink it after 2 p.m. or you will ruin your sleep. And poor sleep equals higher hunger hormones the next day. And lastly, sugar-free gum. It sounds stupid, but it works. Sometimes you aren't hungry. You're just bored. You just want to chew on something. Popping a piece of gum gives your mouth a job to do. It distracts you long enough for the craving to pass. Weight loss is a battle of management. Managing hunger, managing cravings, and managing energy. You don't have to suffer. You just have to be smarter than your stomach. Pick one of these snacks. Try the salad protocol, or the watermelon hack, or the Zoodles. Implement just one of them this week and watch how much easier your diet becomes. Thanks for watching. Stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next one.